Yeah, I told you we gon' take you to the top. Can't believe that me still want the boy to flop. Yeah, never moving shaky, but I popped. Yeah, exes on my line wanna chop.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back to the Third Eye. Oh my God, it's been so long since I did this. It's been so long since I spoke to you guys, but I'm back, baby. I'm back like a chiropractor's job. That doesn't make any sense, but I'm back. The important thing is I'm back. And you know what we're going to be talking about today? We're going to be talking about something that is so close to my heart. We're going to be talking about the music business. Yeah, or as I call it, business. Because if you don't know, I am a musician. You should know that by now. But yeah, welcome back to the Third Eye with your boy Indigo Saint. Today we're going to be talking about the music business. I thought, for a change, not really for a change. I guess I've always been speaking about things that are close to my heart, but this is a little different in the sense of this is my livelihood. Some people are pilots, some people are doctors, some people are vets, some people are shop attendants, some people are musicians. And this happens to be my business. Like, I have to make it a priority every day to dedicate at least 60% of my day working towards my passion, and I think it's got to a point where it's a lot bigger than that. It's beyond a passion now. This is me. I can't separate. Well, I can, but I mean, I virtually cannot separate myself from the music. I am Indigo Saint. Indigo Saint is I. The music that I make is product. It's like I am Jeff Bezos and Indigo Saint is Amazon. I being Jeff Bezos as in my government name, and Indigo Saint being the company, Amazon, and I have a bunch of products and services, and if I want my company and my stocks to go up, I have to take a lot of time. I have to put in a lot of time, and I have to put in a lot of effort. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the music business, because you might have heard rumors, depending on which part of the world you are, literally everywhere. You might have heard that the music business is in disarray, and yeah, it is. The way things are right now are very tough for an independent artist, much like myself. The way that it's set up right now is it favors the music industry right now, favors more so record labels than it does artists themselves. The way things work right now is the artist is always going to be the last person to be paid. So, for example, when I make a song, I have to make the payments first. I have to pay the producer, I have to pay for the studio, and then, I have to pay for mixing and mastering, and then I have to pay to get my music uploaded onto Spotify, and then I have to pay for marketing and social media and all of that stuff, and then right at the end of that value chain, probably weeks, if I'm lucky, months, if I'm a little less fortunate, years, which is more realistic, after I upload the song, then, I get a check that's sizable enough for me to do something pretty decent with, and pretty decent, I mean, invest into my future, right? So that's kind of the state of the music business right now, or the music industry right now. If I was a signed artist, I don't even think it'd be easier, because then, I'd be getting a slice of my own pie. I'd be getting a slice of my own pie and still owing for eating that slice. So the way record deals, if you don't know, the way record deals are set up is artist A. Artist A. Let me use myself instead of referring to an artist whose name is a letter from the alphabet. Anyway, so let's say I get signed to a record label. What would happen is the record label will give me a certain amount of money, right? Based on what they value my music or my catalog or my presence or my artistry at, right? And they'll be like, you know what? We're going to give you, Indigo Saint, we're going to give you $100,000, okay? This is an advance, which means that this is money that we believe you're going to be able to make over the next 2 years. Okay? So we're going to give you the money now. Okay? And we're going to give you this money now so that you go and make music now, right? To fast track your progress, basically. Okay? But we're going to want our money back. And we're going to want our money back with interest. So basically, it's like a loan. That's not even basically. That's exactly what it is. It's a loan. That money is then what I then have to manage, right? My team and I, we have to then determine what is important, what it is that we want to use the money for: music videos, recording, marketing, a house, a Lamborghini, lifestyle, champagne bottles, models, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, the freedom to choose what I want to. I have the freedom to choose what I want to do with the money once they've given it to me. But at the end of that 2-year deal, I have to have paid it. This is what they call recouping. So record labels are big on that. And they've created this model in which basically, I know you guys are big crypto fans, right? That's what you hear. It's kind of like having a portfolio of 100 tokens, right? You have a meme coin there, you have a Shiba Inu, you have a Doge, you have a Mocha, and then you have a Bitcoin, and you have an Ethereum, and what else? And a Solana, right? You're not entirely sure which one's gonna blow up, which one's gonna keep you profitable. So that's why you diversify in your portfolio, right? And so record labels do the exact same thing, except that instead of tokens, what they're diversifying with is they're diversifying. Mouthful. They're diversifying with artists. So if I don't blow up, it's all good because they signed Saint Elmo. And if Saint Elmo doesn't blow up, it's all good. They signed Indigo Child. And if Indigo Child doesn't blow up, it's all good because they still signed Drake. So, everything's going to work out at the end, right? But I'm still going to owe them money, and they're going to get their money. And how they get their money is they're going to take everything that I make from streaming, from my royalties, any piece of anywhere where I'm monetizing my music or where there's fractions of a cent coming in, they're going to take their share first before they pay me. So that's kind of the current state of the music business. And so that's why a lot of artists kind of choose to remain independent, which is difficult in itself, right? Because, you still do need the investment. The music business, unfortunately, is one of those where you need to put money in before you get money out. It's just the way that it is. It's just the way that it is. Which brings me to like something that's very interesting. Like also in my research, I just like trying to figure out what how I was gonna move next. Because again, it's 2024 is pretty much done. I mean, it's August now. There's 4 months left in the year. Well, 3 because who works in December. There's 3 months left in the year, and I'm already thinking 2025, right? So in my research, I found this lady, and her name is Wendy Day. And Wendy Day runs this organization called Rap Coalition. And her organization was responsible for getting artists out of bad deals. And the story is so intriguing. Like if you have the time, if you're just interested in like music business stuff, I highly recommend you check out like her interviews and just the stuff that she's spoken about, and more so the stuff that she's done. I don't know if you've heard of Cash Money. Yeah, the Cash Money. Birdman, Lil Wayne, Drake, Nicki Minaj, them guys. She basically negotiated their deal. Which was, a measly $30 million, not much. but that's what she did. That's the nature of her work is the nature of her work is getting artists, hip hop artists specifically, out of bad deals and negotiating great deals for artists who aren't in bad deals already. And yeah, I went down the rabbit hole, just watching interview after interview after interview after interview, and just trying to see if I could like catch any gems. And I mean, there are a lot of things that she said that I caught, and I was like, oh, okay, I can definitely do that. What stood out to me the most though is this figure that she kept on putting out, and she was like, to break an artist today, you need about $150,000. So this is what her organization, a company, this is what they do professionally, and this is what she does professionally. They break artists, and breaking an artist is basically taking an artist from relatively unknown to relatively well known, and she's done this, and she's done this with quite a number of big rappers. You know what I mean? All of them with different styles. Some who are predominantly radio artists, some who are street rappers. Yeah, and this is the nature of her work, and that figure is a little discouraging, because it's like, well, it's not an impossible figure. I mean, $150,000 is only $151,000 bands, right? It's not, it's not impossible to get. It's only like a million 500. I'm gonna get my maths wrong, and an underdog isn't gonna be very proud of that. So let me not try do that. But yeah, I mean, $150,000 isn't an impossible amount of money to get. It's not an impossible amount of money to get. And the way that she spoke about it is that, a lot of artists don't initially have that money, and how they get it is they get it from investors. So they find an investor, someone who believes in them and someone who believes in the music, and again, like, they present business plans, and they're like, oh, yo, this is what I'm trying to do, this is what I'm gonna do over the next couple of years. This is the business plan. And then there are people who see that and they look at it and they go, okay, that seems sound, and I will front you that money. You know what I'm saying? And obviously they do that because they have intentions to get their money back, right? Because it's business at the end of the day, right? It's well, perhaps I don't want the $150,000 by the end of the year, but I would like it back at 40%, which is insane. But at 40% at the end of what? At the end of, say, a 5-year period, or 20% at the end of a 5-year period. So I mean, even at that, you're looking at an interest rate of about 4% a year, which is still very reasonable. I'm just like considering it just in the sense of a bank loan, right? So I mean, there are people who do that, and and this is how some artists make it. This is how some artists, break ground, and they become these famous people that on the internet, and whose music you criticize so freely and listen to, and you know what I mean? And this had me thinking, because I'm all the way here in a different country, let's call it that. And I'm always thinking, again, as I was saying, I'm always thinking about ways in which, well, how can I blow this up? How can I make my music a lot more impactful? I think my music is impactful enough with its message, like just based off its own message and based off the merit of my work. I believe I deserve to be right up there with everyone else, with Kendrick, with Drake, with J. Cole, with Big Sean, with whomever else it is that you love. Like, I believe I belong there, right? Just based off merit and based off the message in my work. I rap just as well as they do, I believe. If you don't believe that, I've linked a Spotify playlist for you to go check out. But yeah, like, $150,000 is a barrier. If that's what's required for me to break ground, right? How do I get that? And in my ruminations, and my musings, I thought, well, I have all of the people who listen to my music, you know? That in itself is an investment. And I don't know what you value more, whether you value money or whether you value time more, but in one form or in one way or another, I mean, even if you're listening, if you've been listening this far, the reality is you were invested, you know? Whether it's purely out of interest, whether it's you know, whether it's out of interest or you're doing me a favor or you truly believe in me, you invested. You're here. You invested. You know, if you've listened to any one of my songs and you've liked it and you've played it more than once, you're invested. You know, and what's more important to you, time or money? And I think, you know, just through the things that I've been thinking about and also the books that I've been reading, and because I'm still doing that, absolutely. I think there's a way in which my winning also means that you win too, you know, which I think is fair, you know, because every time Drake wins, every time you listen to a Drake song, what do you get besides satisfaction? Besides oh, that was a really nice song. Besides the distraction, what do you get? What if I figured out a way to make sure that every time I won, you won too, you know? To the equivalent to which you invested in me. What if I figured out a way in which Indigo Saint stopped being about me, but it became about you and I. It became about us. What if Indigo Saint stopped being an artist and became a community instead? Yeah. So I've been thinking about that. And if you're interested in that, you know, if you're interested in finding out how you can help, the first thing you could do is share this video. Because at this point, I've got to a point right now in my life where I'm like, I'm going to live every moment that I have up until I draw my last breath to make sure that my music is felt all over the world. That I guarantee you. You know? So if you want to help, the first thing that you could do is share this video, go to my Spotify, check out my Spotify, add music onto a playlist, make your own playlist of my music. There's about 4 hours, almost 5 hours worth of music on there. And the catalog is still growing. And I mean, this is music that's dating as far back as 2016. You know, and the one thing that I've managed to do is to be consistent with the amount of music that I release and the amount of music that I drop. And another thing that surprises me sometimes is just how I've improved year upon year, you know? Yeah. And it's that. And I don't know what you do in your life, but it, you know, I think my music career is just testament to the fact that when you do something every day, regardless of how small, the effects of those small decisions can be as huge as whatever it is that you want it to be, you know. So yeah, that is me. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, and I'm really excited for 2025. I think I've laid down a lot of good work this year, and just in the last 7 months alone, you know, I think I've set up something that's going to be really worthwhile and something that's going to last a decade or two. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm trying to say as much as I can without giving everything away. You know, because in that way, what are we going to talk about in the next episode? Do you feel me? But yeah, that's me. I'm sorry I made this, you know, feel like a Dragon's Den or a little, you know, like I'm pitching a business. But then again, you know, I'm sorry, not sorry, because I mean, this is my career. This is my life. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is my music. And if I'm right about it, if I'm right about this, and it works out the way that I believe it's gonna work out, and you believe in it, and you take a random chance on a stranger, an artist, and that you haven't met physically yet. If I'm right about this, I'm gonna make you a lot of money. But yeah, take that as you will. I'm not a financial advisor. What I am, though, is one of the greatest rappers in the world. Best believe that. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the episode for today. We spoke a lot about a lot of things. But yeah, I'm gonna be back. Obviously, I'm gonna be back with some updates. Excuse me. I'm gonna be back with some updates. If you haven't yet, make sure to go on to my Spotify or Apple Music, wherever it is that you're streaming music, and check out my latest offering. It's called Abraham. It's about 7 songs. And they're not very long. It should take you about like 17 minutes. Great for Sunday evenings, Monday evenings, Tuesday evenings, Wednesday evenings, Thursday evenings, Friday evenings too. Saturday evenings, perfect. Pretty much, you can listen to that music whenever, wherever you would like to. But that's been the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're gonna go in detail about some of these things, I'm sure, with Underdog, and in our offline episode that's gonna be coming soon. So make sure you stick around. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the things that I spoke about. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. And yeah, absolutely share. But yeah, if you don't know, now you know, baby. It's been the Third Eye with your boy Indigo Saint. It's been such a vibe. You have an amazing rest of your day and rest of your week. Yeah, love.
I told you we gon' take you to the top. Can't believe that me still want the boy to flop. Yeah, never moving shaky, but I popped. Yeah, exes on my line wanna